Okay, fine. We'll start now. Okay. Today, so we are going to discuss about materialized view. So before that, materialized view. So what is a here? So we have three types of views. So one is view. Normal view will be there. View we can create. At the same time, we can create secure view and then materialized view. So these are the three types of views we can able to create in a Snowflake. So when it is coming to, all the views functionality, so this will be the same. But so in which situation, we are going to use view, and which situation we are going to use a secure view, and then what is the purpose of materialized view, we will discuss in this session. Now generally, when you create a view, it will periodically it will refresh from the backend. But only the difference is the view and materialized view. So when you have less data, we will go with a view. When you have the huge volume of the data, then we will go with a materialized view. That is the one difference in between view and materialized view. At the same time, when you are using materialized view, the Snowflake will charge. So for the materialized views, for the normal views and secure views, Snowflake will not charge anything. When it is coming to materialized view, the materialized view will be charged. We will see that. So where you can able to see the billing for the materialized view here. Now, at the same time, coming to the secured view, the view definition. If you are creating secured view definition, cannot able to visible by every role. So that is the difference between secure view and then normal view. So for example, let me show you something here. So when you create, for example, we are a account admin role. With account admin role, I created a view here. So in our database, let's assume in a public schema, we have a view. So this one, this is the view, a normal view, right? So when you have a view, when you create a secure view here instead of this normal view, if I try to switch, if I try to access with some other any of the roles, the view definition we cannot able to see. So what all the parameters they have included. So when they are creating a view, we cannot able to see them. So that is a small difference between secure view and then view. So when you are data sharing, we can able to create we can able to share the tables as well as the views, right? When we are doing that, we can only share secured views only. So we cannot able to share normal views. So that is a another difference when it is coming to view and secure view. Now, materialism. So what is the main intention behind? So when you are working with a materialism, we will see with the examples. Let's say, let's take this example. Okay. Now observe this one. Now, this is your the patient data, hospital data. So when they are having group of hospital, they are having all their group of hospital, chain of hospital, the patient data. So they need to maintain in this particular table. Let's assume that this is a patient data table. This particular data, it contains all the information related to old patient data, discharge related data, and diagnosed data. At the same time, death related information also it will be available here. So when all this data is available here in their database, then they are responsible to give the information to the government organizations or government like official persons, related to death related information every 2 days once or 3 days once, or whenever the data is coming into the patient data. Now let's assume that every 2 days once the death related information will they will update into this particular data. Whenever the data comes related to the death related information, what they need to do is observe this. They are creating a materialized view on this particular data and particular database or table. So on this table, so when they created a materialized view, so related to only the death related information, when you created a materialized view, no need to do anything from the backend. Automatically Snowflake, what it will do is automatically it will refresh from the backend, and automatically, so whenever the data updates here related to death related information, automatically it will be updated in this particular view, so they can able to see that information. So from here directly without any delay, always it will be with the real time data. So that is the main intention behind. So when we are creating a materialize you, we will see that. So how to create that view, secure view, and then materialize you, all the things. Now, so one more thing. So when you come to, so what exactly we are going to do in a view. So generally, so if you come to the materialize view, generally it is a database objects. So we know that. But so when it is coming to see this, so separate object, it's holding a result and data refreshed periodically. So we are not responsible to do so anything, so any separate thing for the materialize view here. So when you created a materialize view in Snowflake, general view. So when you create, so in other databases, the when you there also we can able to create a materialize view. When you are doing that, the problem with the metallurgy is, if you observe inconsistent out of date result when you access metallurgy, it means manually they need to refresh periodically. So they need to schedule and then they need to refresh. So then only, so they will get the almost real time data, whatever the data is updated. So they will get the, so when they refreshed, then only they will get the data in the metallurgy. And at the same time, when they are performing any DML operations, so like inserting, deleting, updating, then so they can able to see slow down. So when they are using a metallurgy, these are the so general problems. So when you are working with a metallurgy in normal, so traditional things. But when it is coming to Snowflake, it will so make sure that so it will be so always, so it will not get slow down. So ensure that so it will be a speed, and at the same time see this, always it will be with the current and consistent with main table. How it will happen? So exponentially, see this one, so it will be maintenance service that continuously run updates in materialize you in the background. So once you define a materialize view, automatically Snowflake will so keep on checking in the backend, and then whenever the data changes in the main table, automatically it is going to refresh. So that is the main property of the Snowflake materialize view. So for the background maintenance, so it is going to be, it is a chargeable service. So it is a chargeable service. So here, see this, Snowflake performs automatically background maintenance of the materialize view. So as a Snowflake user, so we don't need to do anything. At the same time, so whenever the base table changes, background service automatically updates all materialize view defined on the table. So not only one materialize view we can create on a table, right? We can create a number of tables, sorry, a number of materialize views on a particular data. So when you are doing that, so automatically it is going to so updates so in the materialize view. Now so we'll see so how it will happen in the so backend. So let's so take some example here. Sorry, I'll try to create. We'll try to create a table. So now we are in class database and then public, and so this is, so we are trying to create a view here. So we will create a table. So from the Snowflake sample database, so this is our sample database, right? From this particular database, so we'll create a table. So call transient table, we are creating call center table. So utilize this particular table. Now if you observe, So just refresh it here. So we have a call center data. How many records we have here? 60 records we have here, right? So now this is our the main table. On this particular table, so we are going to create a view and then secure view as well as materialize view. So all the things. Now let's create a view. Instead of materialize view, just I am giving, see this one, view. So on this particular create or replace view, we are mentioning the view. So and then the view name. So from, so select star from where you are using, select star from, this is a table. This is our table. So call center table. Now on this particular table, we are creating a view. So this is a normal view. If you don't mention anything here, like if it is a secure view, we need to mention a secure here. If it is a materialized, then we need to mention a materialized view here. Now just we are mentioning a keyword normal view. So now normal view is created. If you observe that, see this one, this observe the icon. This is a normal view. This is normal view. In this view also, whatever the data we have here in this table, so everything it will be available in a view. So this is the view. Observe this 60 rows, right? Same data is available. Now let's try to create a secure view here. This I will mention here, secure, secure view, and then this view, it's underscore view. So for the identification purpose. Now what is the keyword we have given? Just we have given a keyword called secure. That's it, right? So when you observe that, observe the icon, you may see the difference. See this one? You can able to see the lock icon here, right? You may see the lock icon here. This is a secure view. Normal view won't have the lock icon. Now, what is the difference between these two things? Whatever is available in a view, here also it will be available. But when you observe the view definition, now, so this view we created with through account admin role, right? When you observe show views, you can able to see the view definition here. Now, so this is the views which we have created. One is secure view, another view. Now, observe the view definition here. You can able to see the definition. What is the parameter we have used? For example, we will use some where condition, and then we will use some of the like a specific columns when we are creating a view. But so this view definition we don't want to so give it to so other so specific roles. Then we can create a secure view. Now this is the view which we have created by using account admin. We can able to see both the definition with the account admin role, right? Now let's change the role to sorry, other role, security or system admin default role. Let's come to the default role system admin. Now we are in the role of system admin. Let's refresh it here. And if I observe, you can able to see so both the roles. But when it is coming to the view definition, it should not be. See this one, account admin. Okay, so this is we created with the account admin role, right? So we cannot able to see anything here. Just a minute. This is create or replace. Okay, so because of the role, okay, so here also account admin. Let me change it to system admin. Now observe the show views. let's connect to class. Okay, the database itself, it is not there. It is not showing anything. If you observe, let me show this. So based on the created date, see this one. So you cannot able to see anything so related to so whatever the views we have created, right? So like that. So based on the so view so which role we have created. So based on that. So if you select the database, but here we cannot able to select the database here. So because so we created this database by using account admin role, right? By default, it's assigned to account admin. So when you observe that, so we cannot able to see any views. So let me connect to some of the database here. Then public. If you observe, see this one. So we cannot able to see any of the views here. So we didn't create it here. So if you use any of the roles, like for example, if you are using so developer role and then you have created a view, you created a secure view. If you try to access that, so with the business role, you cannot able to see anything. So that is the main difference between secure. You cannot able to see basically the definition of the view. It means the definition means what are the parameters you are using, what are the columns you are using. So when you created a view, so that is the main intention behind secure view. Now if you observe with your like account admin role, so account admin will have all the permissions, you can able to see that. So let's connect it to this particular database. Now you can able to see everything here. You can able to see the view definition here. See this view definition, you can able to see that. But when you connect it to normal views, you can able to see the view definition. But secure views, when you log in with other roles, we cannot able to see the view definition. That is the
Dinesh.
only difference between secure view and normal view. Yes.
Yeah, give my request is
Yes, sir.
give access for the
Hmm.
database to system admin role, because uh, maybe for that particular DB it doesn't have access, right, for class.
Correct, correct,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Exactly. That's why we
Once
cannot
give
able to see.
access so that it will be more clear.
See that. Okay. We're telling to this particular database.
Yeah, give access to the system admin. Yeah.
Here.
I'm saying just give grant access for role system admin.
Not sure the command. Just a minute. Let me check it here. Here somewhere we can give the access directly. So instead of giving the commands, you'll see that. So anyway, now, so let's see then. So how we can able to so create it. So metal SEO. So we need to so give the proper command here. So then we can able to give the access to this particular database. Okay, let's see that. So now let me okay create so metalize you here. So when you want to create a metalize you, so what you can do is now so here instead of secure view here, right? So just give materialized metalized view. Now observe this. I will give M here. So what I have given? So I have given a so metalize view. So we created a metalize view here. So when you created a metalize view, observe this here. Now observe the icon here. It's a with a M icon, right? This is materialized view. So materialized view. This is the materialized view here. So you can able to see the so M icon here. When you are utilizing materialized view, when you are creating, so whatever the so changes we are implementing on this particular the main table, right? So based on so which table so we have used to create a materialized view, this particular table. So if you do any changes here, it is a very less volume of the data, so we can able to see all the changes in the views and then secure views also. But when you are dealing with huge volume of the data, it is going to take some time to refresh generally in the views. So instead of that, to overcome that the issue, what we what we can do is we can give so this material we can create a materialized view option here. So that is a so main thing. So now so let's change some of the information. And one more thing, so if you want to see that the refresh history and means, let me show you something. So whenever the information is refreshing from the materialized view, so we can able to see say start time, end time, and credit used. So this one for the materialized view, so it associated the credit utilization cost. It means whenever it is refreshing from the backend. So when you created a materialized view, whenever it is refreshing, automatically it is going to so give you the information here how many credits it is this particular materialized view is so charging. We can able to see that information from this materialized view history information. So how much so it is charging for this materialized view. And one more thing is this particular refresh history, right? Generally, it will take some time to so update. Okay, after so like sometimes so after like 45 minutes or after 1 hour. So when you refresh the materialized view, so it is going to update in the refresh history. You can able to see so this information so little so delay. So now if you do main intention is if you do any changes for this without doing any changes, the information has to be updated here. So that is the main intention behind the materialize view, right? Now let's observe this. So we will try to delete some records from this particular main table. So this is our main table when you created a materialize view. Let's try to delete from, for example, so this is a table where let's take the data here. We can take any one ID equal to 1. We are trying to delete. So how many records it is deleted? One record it has been deleted, right? One record deleted. Now how previously how many records we have here in this main table? So we have 60 records. Now let's refresh it here. So now if you observe, see this one, how many records we have in this main table? 59 records we have in the main table. Now, if you observe the data in the materialize view also, let's check the data here. Now observe this 59 records. So it has been what we have. So without doing anything, right, in the back end, so Metalize, whenever the changes happen, any DML changes updated on this in the back end Metalize, so it will run the background refresh, and then it is going to, so always it will make sure to, so maintain always with the real time data, so in the Metalize. That is the main intention behind this. So again, if you try to delete, so one more record, for example, so any DML operations, if you delete, update, or so insert anything, so automatically your refresh so will be done, and so this metalize will be updated. Now one more record we have deleted here, and then if you observe the metalize, see this one, 58 records updated, right? So without any delay, so it is updating in metalize. So that is the main difference between why we are going to use a materialized view. So and then secure view, so we cannot able to see the definition, and then normal view we can able to see the definition. So when you also log in with the other account, so that is the so main thing. Okay, now just a minute. So for this database, so we need to give the access, and then I will show you. So for that, so let me see the grant permission to the database, right? So I kept it the script somewhere. The data masking.
Yeah, I message you in comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check. Sorry. Thank you, Simon. Warehouse will have access, I think. So grant usage on a database class. This is the class, the role system. The table is okay, schema. This is the schema. Now, so let me in the role system admin. System admin role we have changed. Change the role to system admin. Now, so we have, so this is public schema. Let me give it to public schema. Public. Okay. So because we are in a other role, let me change it to account admin. So to give the grant permissions. Okay. So now we given that so to the database, and then so public schema also. Now let's change the role. Sorry. Okay, to set that. Okay. Now, if you observe whatever the views we have created, so still okay, we didn't given the access to any of the tables. Okay, let it be. So let's check the views. We need to give it for the views also, I think. So class and then public. view also we have the view. So for the utilization, so need to give it for the just so cross check. Given to the grant database, we have given it to the so role. So this is fine. A warehouse. So anyway, by default it will be there, and then grant select. Let me and select. So for select now. For example, let me give it to the view here. The role sysadmin. And I need to change the role to account admin. We have changed now. So let me try. So with the system admin, refresh it. Now we can able to see the view here, right? So now if you observe the show views, if it is a normal view, we can able to see the view definition. See this one here. So in the text, we cannot able to see any view definition. So because a view is created, so with so account admin role, and at the same time you can able to so access the view. You can able to see the data in the view, but only the thing is in a secure. If it is a normal view, you can able to see the definition. But if it is a, this is a secure view, we cannot able to see the definition. So let me give it for normal view also, and then we will see the comparison. Account admin. So again, admin. So here we have given it for the secure view. This is a normal view. Again, we are trying to give access to so normal view to the role system admin. Now both the roles we have a so access. Now let's change it. Then so here also let's change it to the sheet also system admin. Now refresh it. You can able to see the so both the views now. So this is a secure view. This is a normal view. So when you observe this show views, it is this. Now observe this. The normal view. This is a normal view. We can able to see the definition. So other roles can able to see the definition of the normal view. So what is the parameters we have used? But the secure view we cannot able to see that. And so that is the difference between normal view and secure view. When it is coming to metless view, so only so when you are huge volume of the data, you need to remember one thing. So secure way. So let me check so whether the history has been updated or not. It's still it is not updated. So it will associated with the so casting. So every time so when you use so secure so sorry metalize view, whenever it is refreshed in the backend, so there will be the credit utilization charges will be applied on the metalize view. So that is the one thing you need to so remember. So when you are working with the metalize view. Okay. Now let me finish. Sorry, another topic also. So working with a Python. So generally, so previously, so what we have done, so when you are working with let me close this. CLI, right? So command line interface. So when you are like using put commands, so if you want to like load the data so from our local to so our Snowflake, so to keep that into the stage, we have used the CLI. There, what we have done, so we have used so SnowSQL minus a, and then we have given a Snowflake account details and then username and password to connect by using a CLI, right? By using command line interface. The same way, so if you want to interact with Python, for example, through Python, we need to connect it to our Snowflake. Then so what is the way, and then how we can able to so interact with the Python, we will see that now. So one thing, okay, so why the Python so will required in the some of the projects. Let me tell you like this. For example, any project will have the ETL tools, right? And then ETL team, the warehouse. So it can be anything, Oracle database or whatever it may be. And then the reporting. At the same time, so addition to this, you may have, for example, scheduling team. So maybe they will use like control M or autosys, whatever it may be. And then if the team is required, so Unix team for the scripting purpose or some so automation purpose. So they will have the Unix team or Python team, whatever it may be. So all together, it will be there in any warehousing projects. Now, the where exactly, so Python will come into the picture. For example, let's say, so here what we are doing with the Snowflake, for example, if they are using here for the database, data warehouse, Oracle, let's assume that. Okay. We are replacing Oracle with Snowflake here. But the organization or business users are decided, so they don't want to use, so they are having very less transformations logics, business logics. They don't want to use any ETL tools also. They want to convert the whatever the logics they have sorry they have implemented in some of the by using the ETL tools. So like let's assume that direct load. So from the source system to the warehouse. In those situations, if anything, if they do not want to so bypass, they want to bypass the ETL tools, so then so they can replace with the Python, and then they can implement whatever the small business transformations logic, right? They can implement with a Python. In the Python, so they have some libraries, the inbuilt libraries will be there. They can use those libraries so to implement the business logic, so like Python scripting, whatever it should be. Now so this one, so let's see, it's very simple. So how we can able to connect with Python and how to interact with a Snowflake, we will see that. So before that, what we need to do is when you want to interact with Python, so first, so we need to download this, the Python application. So let me show you. If you want to download, what you have to do is just here, download. And you can see here, you can download any of the version here. Seems a little slow, just a minute. So when you click on that, you can able to see that the latest version of the so Python. So you can download this Python version. So or so I will send this so Python executable file. So you can directly install this one also. So just it's like it will not take much time. Just you need to click on next, next, next. That's it. So once it is installed, system. I'm not sure is it a system issue or what. Just okay. So now observe this one. So this is a so latest version, so which you can able to download. Once it is downloaded, so just you need to click on the permissions, the terms and conditions you need to accept. After that, it will be installed in your system. Okay, just you need to double click on this particular thing. That's it. Once it is installed, what you need to do is, if you want to make sure that whether Python is installed in your system or not, just go to command prompt. In command prompt, just try to type Python. Just type Python. It will show you the which version it has been installed in your system. So this one. So here I have installed this. So Python 3.9.5. So when you install in some of the systems, automatically libraries also it will be installed. Otherwise, what you need to do is first step is the Python package installer, right? Just open this. Just you need to run these two commands. So this is the installer. So some of the systems it will be installed directly. Some of the systems we need to do that. If it is installed, it will not show you. So it will so syntax error it is showing already it has done it seems. And another one. So we need to Snowflake connector. This is the Snowflake connector. So we have to do that. So these are the two steps we need to take care. So before working with the Python. Once this one already I have done in my system. Now once this is done, so when you want to work with Python, so first, so generally, so when you are working with CLI, we are going to connect to Snowflake by using the username and password, right? The same way here. So here our username is, so here when I connected, the username is Snowflake 7, and then this is the account details. This is the account details, right? Let me copy the account details. So I will change these details here. This is the account details, and then this is the Snowflake 7 is the username, and then so I have given the password. So here, so first thing is, so observe this one, import the Snowflake connector as ESF. So we are importing Snowflake connector into the Python as ESF. ESF is a alias name, just we are giving here. Now, so let's copy that and then give it here. It is going to, so import Snowflake connector, so as ESF. It's done. Then you need to do is, so when you are connecting to the Snowflake through Python, see this, we need to give the username. Snowflake connector means, so this particular Snowflake connector, so dot connect. So we are telling that to connect to this username by using this password to this Snowflake account. Now let's copy the same thing. Then we are trying to connect to this. It's the basics we are implementing here. Not so much expert in Python, just whatever we are implementing here, right? So I have also taken this from our Snowflake documentation from the Snowflake help. If you observe, if you want to practice more on this, just type Python here, so you can able to see. So all the like scripts, so the sample scripts, for example, using Python connector, whatever it may be, you can able to see it here, right? The same thing. So we are using here. So whatever so is available in the documentation. Okay, let's come to this. Now it's connected to this particular account. So with this using this username and then password. So with this particular account. Now so through Python we connected to our Snowflake. Now so how we'll make sure that so whether it is connected or not, let's see that. So now let's come to where is our Snowflake. Okay, so come to this. So here you can able to see. So about these other database. Let's try to create a new database and then new warehouse, and then we will try to create a so new that table. So within this particular so account by using so Python. Now, so to do that, so everything like the same, it's like a SQL. So only the thing is, so we need to give the additional commands connect.cursor, connect.cursor dot execute. Connect.cursor means here, so it represents this one. So this is a connection, the complete information. So dot cursor is the syntax. So we are trying to execute within this connection, within the Snowflake. So this one, create warehouse if not exist. We are trying to create a warehouse if it is not exist. So warehouse name is warehouse underscore py. Now if you execute the same command here, now it has been executed. If you observe here, come to Snowflake and then come to the warehouse and then see this one, warehouse, right? It's created now. Observe the time, just now it has created, right? Now same way, so within that, so if you want to create a database, so this one, create database, not exist, database name is testdb. So we are trying to create a database. Now that a database is created, now if you come here and then come to the worksheet and then refresh it, you can able to see the database. See this through Python. So we are accessing, so this Snowflake. The same way. So for example, if you want to create, we have created a database. We need to use this database. Within this database, we need to create a schema, right? To use the database, use database, right? Use database. Again, let's come to this and then we will create a schema here within the database. Now we created a schema. If you observe here, let me refresh it here. Observe this test mg. So we can able to see the schema. So within this schema, so by utilizing this within this schema, so let's try to create some table. So then, so what we have to do is, so first we need to so connect it to
Dinesh,
warehouse. Yeah,
yeah,
tell me.
will it whatever DB or whatever warehouse it
Um,
is created, will it have access
mm,
to across all the users, or only the user it currently connected to? I
a
mean
user
role.
are currently connected to.
I mean
Generally,
role it connected
uh,
to. Yeah.
generally it will be connected to the role. So system admin, right? Default role. So the
Okay.
default role, system admin, it will be available. If you
Okay.
want to give
Otherwise, we
that, so
need to
we need to
switch the
give that.
role. Okay. Okay.
Exactly. We need to
Yeah.
switch the role. Okay. It's a good one. Now, so let's come to this. So let's try to create. So for example, so we will use this warehouse and then we will use the database. We are using the warehouse, use database within this database, and then within that particular schema, so we will try to create a table. So we need to use the database. I mean, we are using the database here. Directly what we can do, we can change the so a database and then we can change it by using these options. But here, so we need to execute the commands. Now, so we are in this particular database, so particular schema, and so we'll try to create a so table here. So now when you create a table, so generally what we'll do, create or replace table name, right? The same commands. So but so before that we will have this. So connect that cursor here everywhere, right? So now so we created a table. So within the table, so let's try to so insert some data, insert into the table again. Let's copy 2 times it seems. Insert into, now it has inserted the data. And if you observe, let's come here, refresh it. Observe the database schema. Within this database, within this schema, we have a table. And this table, we have 2 records. Now, observe this column 1 and column 2 we have, and then we have these records, right? So like this, so we can interact with the so Python also. So we are so to it's just a interface to connect to our the Snowflake. So what you can do, so when you are giving, so we have to if any so the team, so if we have experts in the Python, so then if any like a transformations logics we need to implement it, or you need to implement any business logics here, so then so they will implement this so Python. Okay, so they will hand over it to the so Python team, they will able to implement it. So this is all about. If you want to exit again, so just exit.
So whatever we can able to do in worksheet, we can do it right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Everything
like
we can able
creating
to do
pipes,
in there.
everything.
Everything we can able to do that. So all the things. Yeah, there is no limitation like a CLI itself. like a CLI also we can able to do that everything, right? So when you connect it to the Snowflake, so once it is connected, we can able to do everything. So it will be like that.
So,
Okay, next, what we will do is,
Dinesh, one thing.
yes, tell me.
What is the means? This is just the basic thing we did. So, what is the advanced
Exactly.
use we can means we can do with Python?
Hmm.
What is it?
Advanced things, what we can do is we can schedule the things and then we can implement like kind of, so generally we will implement a PLSQL like a procedures and functions in any database, right? But here the Snowflake, we cannot able to do that, right? It will not accept. We need to go with a JavaScript or we have to do it with a Python scripting. If any requirement is there, then we can so give it to the Python team. They can able to implement it here by using Python.
So, if I talk
So
about the
those things.
PL
Mm,
it
mm,
is about the logic if we implement it in a
exactly.
procedural language.
Mm,
So, let's say if I
exactly.
have to do some looping and
Mm,
bulk
mm,
insertion kind of thing, and
mm,
I want to use through some script like
mm,
dot
mm.
ph. I think that the
Ah,
extension file is ph. So, can
mhm,
you show
mhm.
some example of that ph and inserting bulk data in a loop? How can we do that?
I will see. I will see that, Kumar. So I don't have that so handy with me. I'm also new to Python.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will see that if I get
Okay,
any
okay, okay.
examples, I will check with my team members. Okay, if I get anything, definitely I
Mm-hmm.
will give it to you. Okay, let's see that.
So how many classes left, Dinesh?
So tomorrow, so we will so try to so wind up the things with one like a practical implementation, that is SCD implementation. So we will see that how we can able to maintain the versioning. So after that, so tomorrow class we will wind up the things. And don't worry that the classes is completed. And again, we should not the approach the niche. It's not like that. If you have any like questions or if you need any so specific topic also, let me know. You have my number, right? You can ping me
Yeah.
directly, so we'll connect anytime. So it's not like that. So it's continuous learning, right? So I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah.
learning some of the new concepts. Okay.
Okay.
So if
If
I
you
like feel that any like a new implementation, I'm trying to implement one like, end-to-end kind of thing, like from Matillion to complete reporting. So once it is handy with me, then definitely I will share it to everyone.
okay. Is there any use cases
Content
so
sessions
that we
also.
can develop ourselves like that? Because like end-to-end project like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm working on that. I will share it to you.
Okay. If you
Okay.
have any
So
scenarios, at least share that scenarios. We'll try to implement like it because
sure, sure,
in our overall project.
sure,
Yeah.
sure, sir. I'm trying to build
Dinesh,
from the audit table to so till the loading. So by using this scripting, okay, we will see that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, sir. Kumar,
Dinesh,
tell
one
me.
thing. Yeah,
Uh,
one thing is
tell
that
me.
how is the market in snowflakes right now?
It's very good, Kumar.
But
Seriously. So if you know, if you tell the basics about the snowflake, also, so then they will so take it.
c- uh, I
Yeah.
wanted to
Mm.
talk to you in person. Is this possible
Sure,
after
sure.
this
We
call?
can.
I
Yeah, yeah. So
hello.
give me 15 minutes after this call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
just ping me
Mm-hmm.
in WhatsApp. Okay, I will call you. So we will discuss that. Okay.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
I
but
will
I
guide
went
you.
when I went through the job profiles, Dinesh, they are expecting one
Mm,
ETL
tell me.
tool at least to because
When
in
it is coming to that, yeah, yeah. I also saw that. So when it is coming to that, it depends on purely the project requirement, right? So
okay
some
and
will like use
yeah,
ETL tools, some will use
yeah.
any scripting languages. It
Be-
depends.
because within our company only there are a couple of
Oh,
Snowflake
okay.
projects. I thought of
Oh,
moving internally
uh-huh.
to Snowflake project so that
Oh, that's
I'll
great.
get more hands-on. But what they are expecting is some ETL tool expertise in some ETL because most of them are like
Mm-hmm.
migration projects or something like that.
Mm, mm,
So
mm,
they
mm,
want to
mm.
know strong SQL skills and they want to know that ETL tool also because ETL tool
Ah,
to
okay,
otherwise they are
correct.
expecting Java or Python. At
Oh,
least one
okay.
of these three
Mm-hmm.
should be there because
Mm-hmm.
when I checked in one
Mm-hmm.
project, they asked me for Snowflake and Java
Okay.
combination. And when I went to another
Okay.
project, they asked me for Apache and this
Okay.
Google BigQuery and this something, these three combinations. They asked me
Mm-hmm.
like,
Dinesh,
so
on that note,
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Mm-hmm.
question. Even Kumar
Understand.
seems to be like talking about it.
Tell me,
My
Priya.
one question is, Kumar was talking about GCP, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
when you use GCP as your platform,
Mm-hmm.
what ETL tool
Mm-hmm.
can you use to talk to GCP, between GCP and Snowflake?
Mm-hmm. So when you want to talk to from the GCP to the Snowflake, right? You can directly like create a integration object. It does, so it's not a big deal. So, but when it is coming to like a ETL to GCP, so I'm not understanding the exact your requirement, Priya.
Like what I mean is, how do you get your data dumped from between?
Mm-hmm.
How do you move your data from
Mm-hmm.
GCP to Snowflake?
So we can create an integration object, right? So directly we will get the URL from the GCP, and then when you create an integration object, so we can pick the files from there, and then we can load it into our tables. So that's a
O-
direct one. We can do
Okay.
that. So same thing. So we saw that so with the AWS, right? The same way we can able to do that. So that's very easy thing. So let's
So
say, for example, okay, in your case, maybe my guess is your question. So you have some data in GCP. So you need to implement ETL logics on top of that, whatever the data you have in the GCP. Then you need to load it into Snowflake. So maybe this is the your pipeline. So in that case, so you need to with any one of the ETL tools, so we can connect directly with the cloud platform, and then we can extract the data from there. That is possible. The connectors will be there.
okay, and is
Mm.
SQL, the regular SQL, is it fully
Mm.
compatible with Snowflake, or there is something
Yes,
specific we
that is
need to
fully
learn for
compatible.
Snowflake?
No, 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 no. So it's completely a normal SQL only. It's
Okay,
fully
okay.
compatible. There is no doubt.
Uh, Dinesh, one basic
Yeah,
question.
Ravi.
So
Yes,
why
Ravi,
we are
tell me.
using this Python here in the Snowflake?
Mm, mm. So just to like for example, if you want to implement any transformation logics, or if they want to build any scripting for scheduling, or if they want to do it any automation kind of thing, then they will connect it to Python, and then the just the interface to connect it to Snowflake. So like same way how we have done in command line, right? So we connected
Hmm.
through command line through Snowflake. The same way we are connecting with the Python, we are connecting to the Snowflake. So whatever we have like done here, so everything we have control with the Python, right? The same way. So if they want to implement, so for example, let's assume that they need to extract some data from the table. And then for this particular thing, so they need to build some like logics, and then they need to load it into some other table. Okay, it's kind of like simple like a transformation. So from source to the table. So then they can interact with the Python. It's kind of
Okay, we
scripting
can
kind of
use it
thing.
as an ETL tool. So for the
Exactly.
transformation.
We can do that.
Okay. So do we need
Really.
much
So
knowledge on this Python, or basic knowledge is enough for us?
generally, so if you have the good knowledge on this Snowflake, so then the basic knowledge is more than enough. Every team will have the
Okay.
like all the like developers, right? Like ETL developers
Yeah.
will be there, Snowflake developers will be there, Python developers will be there, reporting will
Hmm.
be there all together. So they will work in a warehouse team generally.
So what is our role in our project? So from the day one onwards, I am having these doubts.
Mm.
So what is the role in our project?
Snowflake developer or Snowflake so admin. So here generally when it is coming to Snowflake, right, you will not have any specifically like administrator. So whoever the like working as a Snowflake developer, right, they need to take care of like creating a roles based access, and then
I hear
creating a
that the
resource
Snowflake
monitor,
testers are
all
also
these
there.
things. It depends on like a project. So maybe when they are migrating the like a data from one database to the Snowflake, so they need to test it, right?
Yes, yes.
Mm, for that. So you should have just the knowledge on so how to utilize the Snowflake, and then what all the features is available in Snowflake. That is more than enough. What
And
all
So,
the
one more
things we
question.
are covering, right? Yeah. Tell me, Arun.
Yeah, here one question is we will so I didn't actually practice this GCP class and AWS. So my question is,
Mm-hmm.
so we will load the file into the AWS S3 bucket, and from there we will load the data into our tables, right? So in the
Correct,
Snowflake,
exactly.
is that right?
That is true. That is
Okay.
true.
Okay. So like the way we load the data from the multiple cloud platform,
Exactly.
whether it is from the
Exactly.
Azure or GCP.
Correct. Correct,
Okay,
Arun. Just
I'm good.
practice
In
it. If you have any
If I
questions, let me know.
So Dinesh,
I'll discuss.
I have a question. I don't remember if we did this.
Mm.
Do we make direct API calls from Snowflake to dump into a table?
Direct API calls means application interfaces you are talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
We can able to do that. So, but so we didn't cover that particular topic in our classes. We can able to. So we have some connectors for that.
Can we do an example where we are just doing a basic API call and dumping it into a table,
Yeah, we'll see that.
Dinesh?
I will see that, Priya. Mm.
Okay.
If possible, definitely I will. So I'll give that information.
So Dinesh, overall, I'm trying to get a picture of the architecture, right? In the old world, you had an Oracle database, you had an ETL tool.
Mm.
So Snowflake
Mm.
replaces the traditional Oracle database or some other database because Snowflake is
Correct.
more efficient, correct? Um,
Exactly.
and then because it's cloud,
Mm.
you can only use certain ETL
Mm.
tools to
Mm.
talk to Snowflake,
Mm.
when you're trying to push your files or
Mm. Mm.
connecting
Mm.
to another system, right?
Mm.
So that
Mm.
is essentially the role of Snowflake, correct?
Correct. Exactly. See this when we are working with the cloud. So these are the like a partner connects the Snowflake already has given. So if you want to so create it, so any MET2 connection with Snowflake, no need to do anything. Just click on that. So automatically it will be so establish a connection in the so backend. So you can communicate it in between so Matillion and then Snowflake easily. The same way for the reporting tools also. So ClickView is a reporting tool. So if you want to establish a connection in between Snowflake and then ClickView, so we can able to connect with this. It will be like that.
So you
It's very
said
simple.
tomorrow you're going to be doing SCD, right? So
Yes, exactly.
how are we, I mean, going to do an
Hmm.
SCD, like using a native Snowflake itself code?
Not native Snowflake itself. So we are going to implement streams concept and then merge concept and then task concept all together. We can able to implement the SCD concepts because
Okay.
recent days every interview they are asking this so kind of SCD implementation how we can able to maintain like versioning, right? So versioning in a Snowflake. So slowly changing dimensions, how we can able to maintain the historical data. So when you have any changes in the source table, I will take with the example and then I will explain to you in the next class. Then it will be very clear for us. So how to do that, and we can explain the same thing. So for if anyone asked recently what you have done, what is the like a real implementation you have implemented in your project, you can take this example and then you can explain to them directly.
Okay. So
You will see that.
far, I mean, without an ETL
Mm.
tool, we learned everything because we used a file, right, basically to
Correct.
load. But in
Mm. Mm.
reality, if we had to, I mean, we can do the same thing, but if we had to connect to another database
Mm.
or some source,
Mm.
then we will need the ETL to actually talk from that source to Snowflake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So not exactly. So for example, so when you are like working with, so ODBC connections will be there, right? We can create directly the ODBC connections here. If you observe here, so in the help, in the download, you can able to see this one. So Oracle database connectivity. So Java database connectivity. You can use these connectors and then you can connect directly to them. So no need of ETL tool for everything. So
So
if
then
you have, yeah.
if we
Mm,
can connect directly and if we can do
mm,
SCD also, then what's the big
mm.
deal? Like for a ETL, we can directly connect and we can start doing, right? We can insert data.
Correct, correct. So that is true, Priya. But only the thing is, SCD just we are maintaining the versioning. That's it by using a stream concept. But we cannot implement the huge business logics, right? Let's assume that you need to do some calculations on the source table, and then after that you need to derive something from that, and then you need to create a new columns, and then you need to like implement, like for example, let's assume that simple thing like tax calculations we need to implement in a source table. Then so with the tax calculations we need to update your target table. These so kind of things, it is not possible in like a Snowflake, right? If you want to do that, then again you need to approach a, so you need to do it by using scripting. It can be in a Python or JavaScript, whatever it may be. Normally if you observe the whatever the ETL things can be, uh, ETL tools, it can be done, everything can be done in PL/SQL also, right? And
Right.
so what is the purpose of ETL tool we are using? So just so we are using for the user friendly, and then so this is very easy to develop. So by using a ETL tools, right? The same way here. So simple things we can able to do that. If you have any complex so things, then definitely you have to go to the ETL.
And what is the equivalent for like PL SQL in Snowflake?
I missed it, Priya. Sorry, come again.
So you know how
What
in
is that?
Oracle, right? You can
Mm,
do your
mm,
entire, you don't need, as you mentioned,
mm.
you don't need an ETL. You can just have
Correct,
all your
exactly.
code in a PL SQL package and run the package. What is the
That is true.
equivalent for that PL SQL kind of scripting in Snowflake?
That is Python and JavaScript. You can
Oh,
use
you
any one
need
of
to know Python and Java. Otherwise, you
Python or
can't do that.
JavaScript. Otherwise, you cannot able to replace the ETL tools here. Otherwise, you have to use
There's
the
no, I
ETL
mean,
tool.
you can't put your
Mm.
script together like a PL SQL script. You can't do that in
No, no, that
Snowflake.
is not possible. That is not possible. Snowflake will not support normal PL/SQL script. It will be supported Java scripting or Python scripting.
Oh, Java or Python. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, and you cannot transform. How do you, like, say you want to do something
Mm,
very simple, right? Like I want to just
mm-hmm,
have a logic, right? Column
mm, mm,
column
mm,
A times
mm,
5, right? And then
mm,
I want to
mm,
have the data in column B,
mm-hmm,
okay, of the
mm,
same table on
mm,
another table.
mm,
So if I have to do series of things, then what do
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
do in Snowflake?
Then in Snowflake, we cannot able to do that. So then, so we have to do it in ETL tools.
ETL tool. So that's where the
So that's
ETL comes into
exactly,
picture, where the ETL will talk
exactly,
to Snowflake itself and between two tables.
exactly. It will do that.
Okay. So Snowflake can then pretty much just do like selection, and it can go do like time traverse and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so don't worry about that. Whatever the questions you have, right? So you can text me, or you can. So we will discuss that again and again. Okay, so no need to so worry about that. If you have any so questions in your project, okay, we will see that.
Dinesh, my last thing is
Yes, sir.
question I have. Yeah, usually we have in the data warehouse the
Mm,
dimensions and facts. They will
correct.
build based upon primary key and foreign key relationships.
Correct. Mm,
Here
mm,
in Snowflake we have primary key and foreign key
mm,
concept, but
mm,
Snowflake
mm.
will not enforce it to apply. Like
That is
even though if it's
mm,
declared as primary key, it will accept the
mm,
duplicate values.
that
Uh,
is true. Mm,
uh,
mm,
Only null value will be enforced. Okay, not null constraint will
mm.
be enforced. But my
Correct.
question is, so
Mm,
to build that dimension and fact thing,
mm,
how to do with Snowflake? How to build that relationship using that primary key and
mm,
foreign key?
mm,
Maybe one session
mm,
like covering data warehouse concepts and building actual deriving that facts from dimension table. That if you create that flow and explain to us, it will be more helpful in prospect of understanding data warehousing concepts,
sure,
and at
sure.
the same
Mm,
time
mm,
understanding Snowflake on how to develop that data warehousing concepts using Snowflake like that. That's my thing.
Understand, understand. So, okay. So I will so take that one separate session for that. Okay, we'll see that.
Maybe
The
next
same.
week,
So I'm trying
please.
to so get. Yeah, yeah. Sure,
Uh,
sure. Definitely. Okay.
because I worked on data warehouse and detail tool, but that's 4 5 years back. I know the names, but I actually forgot
Understand.
what is that descriptive dimension, everything. I need to re-verify. And earlier also,
Don't worry
when I
about that.
requested you, you said that you will be sharing some information regarding data warehousing concepts. If you have any recordings or
Correct.
any documentation, please share. I'll
I
just,
have I have that. I will share it to you guys.
yeah,
Okay, related to the data warehousing, the basics.
yeah, okay.
We'll
And
do that.
tomorrow, will you show only SCD type 2 or SCD type 1, type 2, type
We
3,
will show
3? Yeah, okay.
only the I will explain the things, and then so we will implement. We will try to implement versioning concept. Okay,
Okay.
the
And one more
historical
thing
details.
is,
So,
while we create a task last in the task tabs, what we
mm,
did is we derived, we used to pump data once a table is loaded, like a continuously flow. We did that. So we in
correct.
between that we can add one Python script after loading data, run this Python script like that in this Snowflake, or we need that ETL tool like that.
We can do that. In between, we can do that. That's not a
Okay.
problem. We
Because
can
to
handle that.
implement ETL, we need to create a workflow
Correct.
kind of thing. So first step,
Exactly.
otherwise, what I understand is using some Apache Airflow, which is open source
Mm-hmm.
tool.
Mm-hmm.
We can write Python
Mm-hmm.
scripts. On first script, we might ask to inject data. Second
Okay.
step, we can create a workflow. Second flow to update
Understand.
expression table. In informative, we have
Mm-hmm.
expression transformation, like to derive new
Correct.
column. Like that, we can
Correct.
create
Exactly.
flow in Apache Airflow using Python, connecting to
Okay.
Snowflake. These three we can integrate, that I understood.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay. Okay.
in Snowflake,
Airflow,
how
I'm
to
not
call?
aware of.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's simple
Understand.
scheduling
Understand
tool.
your flow.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Like that in Snowflake also, we can call a Python script in between two tasks like that. When we created two tasks, can we
Mm-hmm.
add? And tomorrow, try to
We
connect
can do
to
that.
a
We will see.
database through ODBC connection and pump data. That these four things will be more critical and more important. Maybe that's what I felt.
Yeah, sure, Sarvan. Okay.
Like
So I will see
connecting
them.
the,
Okay.
yeah, I'll
Mm-hmm.
message you these three things also, just to
Sure, sure.
remind you.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, guys. Thank you. So we'll
Thanks.
connect tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.